Joyful blessings. This is Kaylin Castell, and wow, do we have an amazing another extreme out of bounds new moon, this time in Capricorn. At the end of November, early December, it was in Sagittarius. And because we're at the time of the lunar standstill, with that coming to its exact point on January 11th of 2025, when the nodes reach zero Aries and zero Libra, the North Node at zero Aries. That happens every 18 and a half years or so. That's what is the center point of about a 4 or 5 year period of when the moon can go beyond the boundaries of the sun that I've talked about. And I will put a link to the lunar standstill information in the show notes. So be sure to check that out if you haven't heard me talk about that before. And so here we can see the sun on the ecliptic. It's just past the winter solstice with the moon below the sun at this new moon and the archer's arrow pointing to galactic center. We're going to see that a little bit more as we go to future slides. But this is occurring on December 30th, 2024. It's a Capricorn new moon, out of bounds, meaning it's outside the boundaries of the sun, outside of the boundaries of our ordinary reality. And it's a spectacular opportunity for us to connect in. It's also the 13th new moon in this year of 2024, and it doesn't happen every year. The reason is that from any full moon to any from one full moon to the next or one new moon to the next is 29 and a half days. So most calendar years, or even in most, if you, depending on where you start the year, you could start it anywhere, will be 12 full moons or new moons. And but about every third year, we'll get a 13th new moon. And I'm really feeling amazed by this. These are all the dates that are set for, I think, maybe Eastern time. Uh, it was, or maybe Pacific time. I'm not 100% sure. But these are about the dates of all the new moons that we've had in 2024, and it's showing November 1st and November 30th, or we could say December 1st and December 30th, because in some areas it would have been on December 1st that the actual Sagittarius new moon was happening. And I will put another link in the show notes for those who want to know more about how this moon cycle works. The blue moon, or the when we actually do have 13 new moons or 13 full moons in a year. So anyway, oh yeah, so I've already said this, but just be sure to check out the show notes of this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure you do that. And then we're going to also be looking at Sirius as the New Year's star as we continue on, and a few other amazing factors, especially Nunki, the star where this new moon is taking place, and Pallas Athena is also very close. So not, oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. Sorry. So here we go. The other thing I wanted to bring through was that the 13 Original Clan Mothers by Jamie Sams uh, is an amazing book, and it speaks to the new moon each month. But there's only every few years, every third year or so, that there'll be a 13th new moon. And it just so happens that's happening in December of 2024, that we have the 13th new moon. And this is the clan mother that has to do with becomes her vision. And I love this poem that Jamie Sams wrote about this clan mother. So I'm going to share it with you. And it really sums up, it really energizes and activates and invokes the energy of this new moon, no matter what sign it's in, but almost always the 13th new moon of the year is going to be in Capricorn. So, the waking dreams comes to life. The waking dream comes to life and lives her vision through me. Emerging from the chrysalis, she sets her healed heart free. Mother of the seeds of change, who nurtures them as they grow, you planted a dream in my heart to illuminate what I know. What you taught me how to give away, my fear of becoming the dream, showing me how to walk my truth, reclaiming self-love and esteem. As I become all that I am, then together we shall fly, the spirit of transformation reflected in the condor's eye. Such a beautiful summary of this moon energy. And she also talks about how this becomes her vision is the guardian of all cycles of transformation. She's the emerging spirit keeper who teaches us how to bring our spiritual essence into physical form as vessels of love, as great mystery intended. I love that so much. I've been all about the love this year. I'm all about the love all the time, but definitely this is what we need to, in order to create a new earth, a new way of being, is to really activate and bring that love into physical form. Bring the spiritual essence into physical form as vessels of love, as great mystery intended. Oh, just so good. Mother of change, transforming the human body, heart, mind, and spirit from the finite to the infinite. And she is teaching us how to become our visions and own our wholeness. This is so important because most of us, and I've been working on wholeness for several decades now, and it's still a work in progress. But to come back into our greater wholeness of who we are, how to release the old self and step into the realized dream, how to honor the process that brought us through the changes and transformation, how to mark the rite of passage into wholeness. There we go, back into the wholeness piece, and celebrate the vision we have become. This is so good. Celebration is so important. We need to celebrate all the things that we've accomplished this year over our lifetime. Just celebrating makes such a difference. And then the final piece is she teaches us how to be the truth, how to live it, how to be it, how to express it, how to embody it. So, so good. So if we think about the Capricorn new moon, it is an excellent time to honor the grandmothers, the grandfathers, the wise elders, the ones who remember our origins and the path we set out upon eons ago. And looking to the generations past, the 7 generations that have come before us, and the several generations that are about to happen are our descendants. Those who are ancestors and those who are going, who will follow in our footsteps and hopefully help to continue to create this new earth and in a place of love and beauty and peace and plenty for all. So this illuminates the ancient records and the record keepers. So the sun and the moon being right here is helping to illuminate these ancient records and the ancient record keepers, the ones who know that decisions will benefit, what decisions will benefit the current and future generations. This is so important. And we may be those it's like this is what's getting activated within us. It's activating within our DNA, especially if we're open to receive that activation and then to embody it and to bring it forth into the world. This new moon is right before the new calendar year of 2025. And so this is a perfect time because it's at the new moon that we want to plant seeds. We want to put our intentions out. We want to create, whether it's through ceremony, through invocation, through prayer, through journaling, through whatever works for you. One of the ways that we can start tuning into intentions, I should say intentions, not attentions, but what we put our attention on is if we have intentions, that helps us put our attention on what we want. So maybe that's why that's there. Anyway, starting with a simple theme. And Lynn McTaggart wrote The Intention Field. She wrote about the power of eight. She's done so much research and work and coming up with intentions that we energize, especially at a new moon or a full moon or at any special cosmic alignment that might be happening. But starting with a simple theme can be really helpful. Like, what is it that would sum up the energy that you would like to experience in 2025? And so here's just a few examples. It's ideal if it's not more than 3 or 4 words, or maybe 5 words, keeping it very short and simple. But I had one that was here it has radiant health, but I was like radiant health, wealth, and well-being. So it was a little bit more than a couple words. But gracious kindness is the one that Peter and I set up for this year. And it has just been so amazing. Like, okay, how are we responding to each other? Is it gracious? Is it kind? How are we responding to others? Is it gracious? Is it kind? This has been a very much a guiding force for us in our relationship and our relationship to others this year. Joyful abundance. Maybe there, you need more joy and to really recognize and see the abundance and be grateful for the abundance that is already in your life, and that brings more abundance. Radiant health can be depending on, what's really most important for you. Living from love, playful presence, and creative fun and genuine self-acceptance. These are all just some ideas to get you started to see what it is that you want to create as the theme for yourself in 2025 to help guide your intentions. And then you can create intentions that also represent what the theme has to do with um, as well. So this is just something that might be useful to you during this new moon. Now, you see this grandmother here with the owl, the elder wisdom and owl medicine, ancient grandmother. And the key, this comes from Catherine Skeggs. She has a book, a card deck. And the key words that she has on the card is be present, watch, listen, feel, learn, catch spirit's teachings, and become wise. And in a sense, we already are wise. We just need to remember. And so, we have a learning journey. We all have a learning journey, but when we can stop and really absorb and take in and see what is the wisdom that we have gained over this last year, over our lifetime, and what is the wisdom that we want to take with us into this next year, this new moon is really helping us to feel into that. Now, again, I've talked about the out of bounds new moon being far off the ecliptic, outside the boundaries of ordinary reality, meaning that we can create anything we want in this new moon. It's not rigid, it's not set. It's like we're operating outside of the quote unquote normal reality that we usually are feeling ourselves in. And it's 28 degrees south of the ecliptic. We can see that here. It's 28 degrees south, way far from the sun. And on the Archer's arrow pointing towards galactic center. And so the sun can only go about 23 and a half degrees north or south of the ecliptic. And here, the moon is about 4.5 degrees outside those boundaries. So it's one of the most extreme places that we can have it as we're moving into a new year, as we're creating the intentions that are what we want to energize and bring forth in 2025 at this new moon. And in a way, we could say the solstice represents the solar new year. The sun begins its new cycle, starting to lengthen in days. And then this new moon, and it's like the new moon point of a year. And then we have a new moon in Capricorn so close to the calendar new year. Also, you can see here's the moon with it at 9, almost 10 degrees Capricorn, with Pallas Athena at almost 12 degrees Capricorn. So they're within a couple of degrees of each other. And Pallas Athena is really highlighting the energy of wisdom, independence, creative intelligence, especially when it's being strategically applied. Capricorn loves that, loves to have things that be uh, um, aligned with the ability to manifest options and intentions that are effective, efficient, and get the best results. So with the least amount of effort, by the way. So Capricorn is, when it's really healthy, it's not about working hard. It's about working smart. It's about figuring out how to get the best results, to be the most effective and efficient in what you do with the least amount of effort. So, uh, this is the opportunity that Pallas Athena is amplifying in this new moon time. And then because this new moon is near the star Nunki, which is around 12 degrees Capricorn, it's marking the vein of the arrow that's pointing towards galactic center, pointing to the center of the galaxy. And that's opening the portal to consciously connect with pure truth and wisdom that goes beyond the limits of the human mind. Now, galactic center is a place where all kinds of energies are being birthed out of it. Now, yes, it's a black hole and it's drawing energies in, but it's also sending things out from it. So it's like a galactic womb. And this is such a perfect time to be tuning into what it is we want to birth into this reality at this time. And so it's a wow. It's definitely a wow full moon. Now, honoring the grand, we already did that slide. Am I going backwards? Oh, yep, going backwards. Sorry. Okay, here we go. This is just another way to see. Here's Nunki at the vein of the arrow, the archer's arrow. This is showing the archer as a centaur, but originally it might have been just a horse with a man riding on it, but it then later became a centaur. This is also this constellation with Nunki here and the arrow pointing to galactic center, just to kind of give you another view of it, because we can't see it this time of year, but we can tune in to that energy and recognize that this new moon is helping to activate our connection to the galactic center. Now, the entire constellation of the Archer is currently in the seasonal sign of Capricorn. We have the Capricorn new moon, and we have the new moon with the star Nunki in the Archer, which is also known as Sagittarius. But this is again showing the difference between signs and constellations. I will put a link to the show note in the show notes for the video that explains more about how that's working and why that is. Over time, every single seasonal sign will be with every single constellation. And too much to explain right now, but just so you get that sense of it. So again, if we think about galactic center as a galactic womb or a galactic cauldron, we're having an opportunity to connect with this part of the sky. And as the archer's arrow activates this cauldron, this uh, womb, or this area of the sky, as we're energizing our intentions for the new moon. So in ancient Greece, Artemis symbolized the archer. She, with her bow and arrow, she shot and slayed Orion, which is on the opposite side. So the archer is setting as Orion is rising, and the archer is rising as Orion is setting. They're opposite of each other. And so she's considered to be the one who slays him. There's also other story about how the scorpion, not right next to the archer, is the one that slays Orion. So there's different ways that that story is told, and we might need a new story now, but just so you kind of get a sense of what it's been. The other thing about Nunki is that it is an ancient Sumerian Babylonian name, and it is the only star in our sky that still has the name of that goes that far back in time. And it means the star of proclamation, or the star of the sea, or the yoke of the sea, and it refers to the water constellations nearby, the goatfish, or the sea goat, of Capricornus, that's right next to the Archer. And then there's the water bear, also known as Aquarius, but it's the water bear. And then Delphinus, the dolphin, and there's fish, and there's a whale, Cetus the whale, all kinds of watery constellations that follow this, the Archer. So, Starlight Elixirs and Cosmic Vibrational Healing, I love their insights on this star. And so here's what they have to say. A powerful direct connection exists between Nunki and the nexus of information, wisdom, and awareness that is the center of the galaxy. And we were just speaking into that. So brilliant, so good. The center of the galaxy is an origination point for energies of creative force. So again, here we have a new moon, the seed point, the activation point, and this is the origination point happening in the part of the sky that is the origination point for energies of creative force. Information and awareness from the center of the galaxy can stimulate a new contextual view, a new idea, or remembering an old idea now brought into form in a new way. And this is coinciding with the fact that the moon is out of bounds, so it's going new contextual view, a new idea, a new way of seeing things, a new perspectives, or seeing old perspectives or old ideas or old forms in a new way. So this is the power of this new moon if we're tuning into it. Now, here's the green line is the ecliptic. This purple line is the plane of the galaxy. Where they cross is where the winter solstice is. The new moon is here with the star Nunki, the sun and the moon, very close to that, pointing to the center of the galaxy. So just another view of how this is happening. And the constellations. So the constellation of the Scorpion is overlaid mostly by the season of Sagittarius because this is the zero Capricorn point now. And here's the constellation of the Archer being overlaid by mostly uh, the sign of Capricorn. And Pluto here at 0 degrees Aquarius is just about to enter into the sea goat or the goatfish, or also known as Capricornus or Capricorn. So you can see that the seasonal signs are different than the constellational signs. And again, there's a video that will explain more about that in the show notes if you haven't heard it. So now I want to wrap this up because on December 30th and actually 31st, January 1st, 2nd, the few days around the January 1st time, the star Sirius is directly overhead. And so if you look up at midnight around this time, every year, you're going to see Sirius being very close to being directly overhead. Now, it depends on your latitude and where you are and a few other factors, and it needs to be around midnight. But what we can imagine is that Sirius is pouring its light codes onto planet Earth all night long during the days leading up to the new year and the days leading after the new year as well. So the I have a whole video I've done on this, and I will share more about that in the show notes as well. You'll be able to see more about this, the New Year star. It's like a 6-minute video. And but here's a picture of Sirius over a Mayan pyramid directly overhead around midnight. And just so to wrap this up and to say, maybe we can wish on the new moon, we can put our intentions on the new moon, but we can also wish upon Sirius, the wishing star. And so here's a summary of that. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dreams, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do, like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. So, in addition to this amazing new moon that's happening, we can take this time to go out and see Sirius, super bright, going to be pretty much directly overhead, and wish upon that star for our dreams to come true, for our dreams of how we want to experience peace and plenty and love and joy, and that all people have the opportunity to experience life as that is our divine birthright, to be happy, to be joyful, to be abundant, to be loving, to be kind, to be all those things. So here's to a joyous ending of 2024 and beginning of 2025.